You know, there was one where I held, and it was slithering on my arm, and his tongue kept going in and out. And as you know, that would freak a lot of people out. But then I learned.
There's a snake!
Stop in the name of the law!
Snakes aren't the bad guys. I have to set things right. And when I do, my family will finally be able to come home.
Woo! Hops and Wild. Dream team.
Well, I'm so happy to be talking to you, longtime fan, the Goonies, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, some of my favorite films. And
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. And I'm very excited to talk to you about Zootopia too. It's a movie that I'm very, very proud of.
Yes, you play Gary deSnake.
Yes.
And it's not your average, every time you see a snake, it's always really like deep voice and really threatening.
Right.
And here you come. Are you a nice snake in Zootopia too?
Yes. You know, that's what I love about this character is that, you know, everybody think of Snake as poisonous and scary, and you know, there's so much negativity around this particular animal, and when you meet him, it's anything but that. He's actually really friendly. He's kind of goofy. He has a big heart. He's, you know, someone you would call, you know, an eternal optimist, and he's there for a very important reason, which is to help his family clear their name so that they can come home.
Yeah, because they're prohibited in Zootopia.
And you know, and you know, he sets this whole thing up where, you know, this mystery why Zootopia hasn't seen any reptiles for more than 100 years.
Now you as Ke, how do you feel about snakes?
You know what? To be honest, in the beginning, before I played this character, I was actually kind of afraid, just like everybody else, of snakes. But having gone through this experience and lived in this character for some time, it changed my mind. So far I've seen them, I've interacted with them, I held them, and I actually learned something about snakes. You know, there was one where I held, and it was slithering on my arm, and his tongue kept going in and out. And as you know, that would freak a lot of people out. But then I learned that that's how they smell. They use their tongue to smell. So immediately, that opens up something completely different. You know, and that's why I think it's important and that's what I love about this movie is that it invites us to see things differently, past the stereotypes, the bias, you know, all the labels, but to see them for who they really are. As cliche as this sounds, but I think it still holds true. Never judge a book by its cover. Give everyone a chance, you know.
Now, did you since you got to hold them and see their movements, did you incorporate the movement when you were uttering the words?
No. You know, the interesting about voice acting is that you're only one half of the team. Yes, we lend the voice, but the animator who animates my character is equally as important because he gives them the facial expression, the emotions, and the body movement, so that I don't have to slither around the floor.
And what about the voice itself? Like, what were you directed to do? Like, you know, do this. You know, that's typical, right? But what were your instructions on how to voice the character as far as like the bringing in the sounds?
I'll tell you how I got this role. The animator, who luckily he is a fan of mine, so he took an appearance that I did on the Stephen Colbert Show. So he took that clip, he kept the voice, but animated Gary the Snake over me, showed it to Jared Bush and Byron Howard, our directors, and then they go, "Oh, that's Gary." And that's how I ended up getting the role. So I think, you know, because they saw that, I think what they were looking for was, you know, bringing some of my own personality and just, you know, how I normally sound. I didn't try to do anything different.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Now, how do you prepare? Obviously, See, like you mentioned, voice acting is different. So how did you prepare going into a booth, a recording booth?
I slithered around my house for months. No, I'm just joking. Really, this is, I'm kind of new to this, so I'm actually still learning, but I love the process. It's an interesting process because you don't get to interact with your fellow actors. And it's a process that requires you to put a lot of faith in your directors. And of course, being Jerry Bush and Byron Howard, who won 2 Oscars, I had no problem doing that. They're just so talented, so passionate about Zootopia. And it's just me, giving them what they want. And, when I'm in the recording booth and when I hear them laugh or when I see them nod, then it means that I'm doing a good job.
That's such a weird experience, right? That you have to kind of be in the booth by yourself and you have to react. Your audience is the director, right, and the crews.
Yeah, it's interesting, I would say, but it's kind of like performing in front of a live audience, except your live audience is just a few people in the other room and the director that's in the booth with you.
All right, well, Ke, thank you so much. I'm so glad you came back to Hollywood, and I've seen you in all your projects, and hope to talk to you again soon. Congratulations.
That's very sweet. Enjoy talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.